This is the underground train here in the city of Vienna, Austria, here in Europe. Vienna's U-Bahn underground train system is a simple way to get around the city and, along with the trams, is one of the most useful for visitors and residents alike. The Underground Railway, as it currently exists, was first conceived in the mid-1960s and construction had started by the late 60s. It wasn't the only idea for a city railway, by any means. Plans for a Vienna rail network had already been discussed in the late 19th century. This eventually developed into what was known as the Stadtbahn in the 30s and 40s. The first service to go into operation was the U1 in 1978. Since then, the entire network has been extended and expanded into 5 different routes and currently carries well over 1 million passengers every day. All of the lines run through the inner center of Vienna apart from the U6, which runs just to the west of the center. U1 runs from Leppeldau in the northeast to Ria-Mannplatz in the south. U2 this circular central route used to run from Karlsplatz just to the Schottenring, but was extended for the 2008 European Championships to the Ernst Happel football stadium in the Prater area. U3 runs from Ottakring in the west through to Simmering in the southeast. U4 runs from the furthest west at Hutteldorf out to Heiligenstadt in the north. U6A runs from Floridsdorf in the north on the eastern side of the Danube through to the Westbahnhof and then to Siebenhütten in the south. There is no U5 because the original proposals called for a route, which has been partly used by the extension to the U2. Plans have been put forward to create a new U5 through new construction and extensions and changes to the U2. However, these have not been approved. Tickets are part of the Wiener Linien system, which are also valid on the buses, trams, and S-Bahn. As in many other cities in Europe, the tickets must be validated before use. In Vienna, this is done by pushing them into one of the blue ticket stamping boxes at the stations, or on a bus or train. There are many different types of ticket. The Vienna U-Bahn system publishes a useful booklet giving all the options. Those staying longer may wish to look into getting the 72-hour Vienna card, which gives free travel on all city public transport, as well as various reductions to museums, galleries, etc. One unusual feature of Vienna is that tickets for concerts and sporting events sometimes include free public transport. Check on purchase to see if this is the case. Children under 6 years of age travel free. Tickets can also be bought via mobile phones and online, although a good command of the German language is possibly advisable for this. To easily reach any part of the city, run by the Wiener Linien Company, it is fast and reliable and is used by 1.5 million passengers every day. It is not exactly cheap, but you can save money thanks to convenient season tickets and tourist passes. 5 lines are currently in operation, covering a total of 79.2 kilometers and 109 stations, 10 of which are intersections between several lines. It is not difficult to understand how the underground works in Vienna, but the information on lines, timetables, and tickets that we give you and will make things even easier for you. The 4 main forms of transport are U-Bahn subway, Schnellbahn or S-Bahn local train, Steigenbahn tram, and Autobus bus. Vienna works on an honesty system with no ticket barriers at stations and no formal, permanent ticket checks on the subway, local trains, trams, and buses. You just jump on and off. This doesn't mean public transport is free, though. You do need to buy a ticket. Now I dare say you may be wondering why you'd bother buying a ticket. And you wouldn't be the first to think that. Leaving the ethics and legality aside for the moment, a lack of formal ticket checks does not mean there are no ticket checks. You may encounter a conductor wandering down the city train, or run into spot checks at the end of a subway platform, or find the unassuming gentleman next to you on the tram pulling out his transport authority ID and asking to see everyone's Fahrschein. These undercover agents are impossible to spot, and they've heard all the excuses before. Traveling without a ticket incurs a fine, not to mention a whole heap of embarrassment. Nearly all forms of public transport fall more or less under the same municipal organization called Wiener Linien, so the tickets or network passes you buy are independent of your mode of travel. If you buy a single ticket from A to B, for example, it doesn't matter if you take the tram, city train, subway, or catch the bus. Or use all 4 to make the journey provided you don't take any detours or long breaks. There are very few services you can't use with a ticket or pass, mainly selected airport transfer services, the westbound rail service, and tourist services like the hop-on hop-off sightseeing buses. If you have children, those under 6 do not need a ticket. Trams, buses, and subway also remain free until the end of the academic year where the child turns 6. Those under 15 qualify for reduced-price single tickets. Under 15s go free on Wiener Linien's trams, buses, and subway trains